Good morning, and thank you for joining us. My guest today is a man of extraordinary perseverance. He has overcome quite a lot, and today we are here to change his life. He is a three-time cancer survivor working on his fourth and is looking to branch out to start his own medicinal mushroom company and in the pursuit of healing himself and others. So I'm very excited to share his story with you today, and it's going to be an excellent conversation. So let's get him on here. Morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Well, and yourself?
You're really good. Great. Excellent.
Good. I'm glad we can make this happen. I know we had planned for it yesterday,
Yeah.
but certain things had gotten in the way, and no apologies needed on your side. But I'm just happy we're here having this conversation now. So thanks for joining us, brother.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm so excited for this.
So just a little bit, a brief insight into your story, where you're at, and I'll talk a bit about how we came into connection with each other, right? So please tell me a bit about what's happening with yourself.
So, well, currently, I don't know what you told the people on the line here, but about 11 years ago, I was diagnosed with an incredibly rare cancer. It's called Pseudomyxoma Peritonei, PMP for short. Um, like only 1,000 people in the world get it every year. When I first found out about it, it starts in the appendix, and it basically, these mucinous tumors explode all throughout your stomach until they grow over a set number of years, and they basically crush your inner organs, and that's how you end up dying. I was given a 10% chance to live the first time. Uh, the I went and did this surgery that was 16 hours long. It was called the mother of all surgeries. I've had, I was on a ventilator for a week. It was just horrible. It really took a lot out of my body. But then I was doing well for a year, and I went back and I got another CT scan, and there's a spot on my lung. And this has only ever happened like 30 times, they told me, but the cancer had traveled to my lung, and I ended up having to do another major surgery there, which was really incredibly painful. I was given 3 months to live, literally. Then it came back again. I was like told I was gonna die. Found like another surgeon to do surgery on me. Everything was going well for about 5 years, and then just last summer, I got diagnosed again. Luckily, I found they invented this new drug in Australia that it's made out of a substance called bromelain, which is in pineapple juice, and N-acetylcysteine, and they can dissolve the tumors. And so I went to Australia for this. My friends and family raised $50,000 for me to do this. This happened in January of this year. So I went there, and they did the treatment on me. I have the cancers all throughout my stomach and through my lung. I sent you pictures of the scans, pictures of the tumors. But they only had enough time, and I didn't have enough money because I didn't have insurance in Australia, right?
Right.
So they got like one tumor in my lung. They dissolved it. It was the size of a softball. And then the plan was to come home here to, back to the United States, which I did in February. And then they were supposed to come in March and bring the trial here to the United States. And then the COVID thing happened. And it really, it stopped everything. And I was getting close to death. I mean, I was ready. We'll talk about it later, I'm sure. But I mean, I was ready to go. Like I was basically holding on until like things cleared up, because I didn't want my like grandma to get coronavirus at my funeral. You know what I mean? Yeah, and yeah, but but then I started, you know, I was kind of like at the, I had like nothing to lose, and you know, I tried everything in the world, and a lot of the reason why I've been able to survive so long is because like I always attacked the cancer from every angle. You know, I did the medical route, natural route, physical route, spiritual route, everything. And I started learning about medicinal mushrooms. And I actually got a book on them, and I started going out into the woods and like foraging my own like mushrooms. And I mean, there was a point though where I noticed I started to get better, but what like really was the turning point was I saw a thing on microdosing, and I tell you what, man, I did that for like a month, and it was like my entire world completely changed. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, it's so weird, but like I was cleaning my room yesterday. This is how close I was to like ready to be in to die. I had a plan where I was going to commit suicide. I was going to shoot myself. And I literally, I went and this is actually a fake, or it's a dry fire bullet. It's not an actual. And I was practicing with this thing. I swear to God. And I mean, and I'll tell you what, I did that, and I was like, oh my God, I feel better. And then ever since that day, like I talked to you about it before, it's like things have just been falling into place for me, and I've been feeling so much better. I actually found out yesterday that the drug's coming here in a couple weeks, which should help, you know, dissolve all the cancer. And my next goal beyond that is I really want to keep going with the medicinal mushrooms. Like I've been doing things with like lion's mane and niacin that have just taken pain away. I've been able to do things I haven't been able to do in years. And I know there's ways. I'm talking with like top geneticists, mycologists like yourself and the people on here. And I really think that I can change my DNA to be able to make this cancer not come back again. And then I want to share that with like everybody else, because I don't want other people to suffer like I did, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah.
Dude, I struggled not to get emotional during you talking. So, yeah, like for me, my empathy for you and what you've been through is immense, and I applaud you for being here today and persevering in the face of that. And not only that, maintaining a fantastic attitude towards it, and like, you know, even after, you know, our circumstances yesterday that prevented us, when I got a hold of you, you were smiling and happy and like just willing to do it, man. I love your attitude and everything about it. You're legitimate hero to myself and after hearing this, to probably many others. And I want to do everything to help you. And you know, I think the universe sort of put us together. By happenstance, you won the Mycology Now giveaway that they randomly did. Now, I followed your account just to make sure that you received it, right? And I went onto their page, saw that you got a notification, and then didn't reach out because I was like, okay, good, he got it. And so your post about getting a biopsy done without anesthesia just happened to pop up. And I read into it and saw that you were in this pursuit, and I was like, this is amazing and immaculate. And I made a comment saying, you know, like whatever I can do. And I'm absolutely going to honor that and would be honored to do so. So through that, you know, just that reach out, and then, you know, you hit me back and you're like, I'm gonna take you up on that. And And I appreciate that. And Friday morning, I woke up to an email from you reaching out to me, calling me to fulfill that. And what you described to me was that you had roughly $5,000 saved to get your sort of mycology home growing operation set up for yourself, and that you had lost 4,000 of that to
Medical
medical bills.
expense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just surprise. And
Yeah.
so, through conversations that you and I have had over the past couple of days, I'm looking for avenues of how I can help you in that pursuit. And so, on my advice, you created a GoFundMe to raise those funds back up because you're in a terrible situation, and I think your story is a very powerful one, and that we need to encourage you on this mission. And so that should come at no hardship to yourself or your family. And I want to raise that money back up, and then I want to help raise more money so you don't have to stress about medical bills or about worrying about where your income is going to come from, so that you can pursue this and create a company. And so I don't have finances to donate to you
Yeah.
myself, but what I have is resources and time. So I looked into it and I saw that you have a book deal pending.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to offer, my help to you with writing that, with
Yeah.
maybe even just talking with you and getting your testimony of your life experiences, and try and take some of that burden off of you in that respect. And so on top of promoting the GoFundMe and your message and all of that, you have uh, a significant sort of uh, beneficial relationship with psilocybin, and sort of what the end of life crisis that you've
Yeah.
essentially experienced 4 times now. And
Yeah.
we're very interested to hear about sort of the benefits and the experiences that you've had,
Yeah.
and just your take on that.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to share this with the world because I think, I mean, I hear so many people, I'm on like all these discussion boards for cancers and things like that. And literally, when I went to the doctors last time, my options were they were going to put me on uh, what is that called? Like end of life care, basically. There's a term for it. I'm just not thinking of it right now. Um, but I think you get beat up so much sometimes that you just need like mentally to like be able to, you need like a push or something to help you out, like and that's really what it did for me. And a lot of the things like cancer, and when you're going through all that, I mean, it's just like constant fear. How am I going to afford this? How am I going to, what's it going to be like? What's going to happen after I pass away? You know, you think of all kind of crazy stuff. I was thinking about my grandma getting the freaking coronavirus at my funeral. But then once like I got into the psilocybin, and it was just like I was able to think again. And I didn't sweat so much of the things, and I've always never have, because like I have like a really strong faith. I'm never. Honestly, for me, I'm not like worried about like passing away. I don't want to, because I love life. Especially now, I'm starting to like really love it. Um, but actually, this is like the first time in my life, like for a long time, I want to survive for me. Because like for a while there, I think I was just keep staying alive for my family. Because I didn't want to. I see what happens to people, when someone dies. It just wrecks like your whole family, and I never wanted that for my family. But like this time, like I want to do it for me, which is a lot more powerful, I think, than what needs to happen. But yeah, just that whole experience, like, yeah, just made me change my whole entire like outlook on life. Because the world looks so much more beautiful and clear, and And yeah, it changed like a lot of things for me. I had like I had PTSD too, because I've had the most horrific surgeries, and I've been given 12 hours to live before. I can show you videos of where I didn't get just life flighted. I had to get flown on a jet from Las Vegas to Houston, Texas, to do an emergency surgery, and you know, you get PTSD, and everything, little thing triggers you, like it freaks you out. And I just like all that went away, you know, it's all gone. And it's like, oh, it seems like a miracle. Like, you know, it's like, it doesn't even seem possible. Sometimes I feel like I pinch myself. Is this real? Like really going on? Is this happening? You know? And it is, you know, and I know it is. Um, but yeah, man, I can't tell you thanks enough for like you and everyone who's even like logged on here for like sending the nicest messages. It's like making me want to cry. People are so cool, man. God bless you.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm honored to be a part of your story and your journey as well. And you touched briefly on in previous conversation with myself about the pain medication that they put you on to deal with sort
Yeah.
of the treatment and experiences that you had to deal with, and that ended up in like a fairly severe dependency upon it.
Yeah.
And so if you could just, you know, talk to me about
Absolutely.
that.
So I had to be on fentanyl for 3 years because I had this hole. You'll see it in my I had this hole in my chest. Like you could look inside my chest and see my heart. It's like one of the most insane things. But yeah, to be on fentanyl, and the strongest fentanyl patch is 100 milligrams, and I had to be on three of those, 300 for 3 years, man. And like it wasn't even like it's like wasn't like I was addicted mentally to it. Your body just becomes like physically dependent on it, you know. And I'm on like honestly, I'm on pain medications now. Um, but like after I started taking like the psilocybin, I even now I don't take it. I like forget to take it sometimes, you know. And well, when I was on the fentanyl, I actually went to a center. I found it's in Las Vegas. It's called Rapid Detox. I paid $30,000 out of my own pocket. They basically they put you under um, anesthesia for 12 hours, shoot you up with Narcan, and
Mm-hmm.
basically go through the like hardest part of withdrawal throughout those 12 hours, and then like for 3 days they send you home and you're just like suffering. But that's how I was able to get off of it. And then I was like, after experiencing this, I was like, oh my God, like I could have just did this and could have avoided all that and probably spent like, you know, $300 versus 30,000. It's so crazy. Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's a tragedy that, you know, these detoxes and stuff are so expensive,
Yeah.
right? And because of their cost, and that, you know, for anybody who's unable to afford them, it leaves them just
Yeah. Yeah.
completely helpless and dependent
Exactly.
upon these, you know,
Yeah.
these drugs. And it's, you know, it's going from, you know, morphine to fentanyl to heroin essentially, and then, you know, it consumes your life and it consumes your being, and you end up in a situation that you had no business being in just because
Yeah.
you were in pain.
Not your fault.
Yeah, and it's, you know, there's no aftercare, there's no anything, right? Because the pharmaceutical industry is issuing these drugs with no responsibility for their actions afterwards, and you're just left on your own. And the people are struggling and suffering because the system is flawed in so many ways. And it, you know, we need to come up with ways to fix that, because obviously they're not going to take responsibility for
No.
that. They're not going to, you know, they don't want to foot that $30,000 bill that had to
Yeah.
come out of your pocket,
You know,
right? And the answers are here. They're in nature. And, you
yeah.
know, especially with opioids and, you know, the development and research and exposure that Ibogaine and Iboga is getting, you know,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
slowly gaining, there are solutions out there, and whether, we can work together to make them more affordable, to fix this sort of like pandemic of dependency upon pharmaceuticals,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm here. That's what I'm here to do, right? Now I'm here with a vengeance to destroy the social stigma surrounded with
Me too.
psilocybin,
Yeah.
and then I am here to heal the people from ailments that are institutionalized by a system that's not looking out for their best interests. That's only here for financial gain and at our cost. So thank you for being here, man. Thank you for sharing your story. I know you've struggled with it and you hate the sound
Yeah.
of your voice. It's the same as I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But I think, looking objectively at this, this is bigger than both of us, right? Like if
Yeah.
I'm to take myself out of, the nervousness and
Yeah.
dislike
Yeah.
of everything, and if I look at it from an overview, it clearly shows me that we are meant to be in collaboration and cooperation in fixing the system. And your story is a very powerful instrument in that as well. So thank you for being here. And so you sent me a documentary that was sort of showcasing your backstory.
Yeah.
It highlights a lot of love from your friend Tom, your mother, and then your your gym facilitator, and just seeing that support system around you, and how much, how fondly everybody talks about you and the kind of person you are, and how you were in the peak pinnacle physical shape that you could be, and this struck you out of sort of nowhere in the prime of your life, is emotional. Like I spent a good portion of it just admiring your perseverance and tenacity and strength through it all. And from the bottom of my heart, man, I applaud you. You are a gem. And thank you for continuing to fight even when you didn't believe in yourself. So with that being said, how instrumental was that sort of social support system for you going through all these treatments?
I mean, that's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here without it. Like, honestly, I mean, that's what kept me alive. I think I've always tried to just be nice to everyone and not judge anybody. And I think that's just such proof that if you do that, like that, it'll come back to help you in the end. Or yeah. But no, I'm really blessed, man. I got a good mom, and that's another reason too. When I see people they don't have that, like I try to step in and help them out. My people always like kind of get on me all the time. They're like, "Wow, man, you should be like helping yourself and like focusing on your own health," which I should do that right now. But like I can't help it, man. Like sometimes, like I see somebody, and like after my documentary, I for a while there, I was getting like once a week, like somebody writing me like a letter how like it taught them how to like commit suicide for themselves, And like when somebody does that, like first of all, it's like such an honor and it makes you feel so good. And but then you just can't like write them back like, oh, like spend all night long like writing them a letter, And but yeah, but it's cool though. It's like I got so many people from that like in my life that like I'm never worried about like anything. People help me out because I've helped them too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just we talked about our common fondness for David Goggins and his mentality and his just unhuman sort of ability to overcome. And one of the things he talks about is putting your purpose sort of outside of yourself for a moment, right? To go through sort of some suffering for those closest to you, and that is how I fixed a lot of myself, right?
Yeah,
Is,
all
is,
that.
is
I read your thing. Yeah.
adopting that sort of technique. But at some point, I realized I was neglecting myself, and that I wasn't addressing a lot of the issues that I should have been in doing that. And so it's a great temporary band-aid, but unless you're like coming back to yourself to be able to check in and be like, am I doing the right thing for me? Then it's you sort of separate yourself from that intention, right? And get lost a bit. So I commend you for finding your way back to yourself, and ultimately, turning inwards to fix, what was going on with you, so you could be better of service to your family, and no, it's been I'm truly honored to
I'm
meet
not-
your presence and have this conversation, and to lend you everything. So what what state are you in?
I'm in Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as on top of the GoFundMe and whatever I can do to help you write your story, I reached out to Bodie Mountain Mycology, and he offered to help mentor you through your process
Oh,
of growing
yeah.
and cultivating, just to make sure that you have the best chance of success in
Yeah.
doing so. And now I have a friend in Pennsylvania. I don't want to say his name and put him on the spot, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd jump on the chance
Yeah.
to offer his help, and maybe based on your proximity, maybe you could go and see how he does things. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to reach out to him just after
That's
this,
so awesome.
and see what I can do, and talk about what other fundraisers we can do to get you back into this position. Maybe starting a Patreon to get a bit more funds coming in. Maybe you can write like a handwritten letter, or and see what we can do to come up with more funds. And now my buddy Big Apple Myco is doing this thing where he's growing out his chest hair and shaving a mushroom into it for charity or donation.
That's
And
hilarious.
so he said he would donate those proceeds to your GoFundMe.
I'll
And
appreciate
so
this.
yeah,
So cool.
we're just gonna get the ball rolling, keeping it fun and light, because I believe you're here for a purpose, man. And
You too. Yeah.
so I'm glad. And yeah, so
Honestly, I say that the real criminals are the people who are keeping this away from everybody, because I know how much it's all helped me, and it makes me sick. That people. That's why it's like so. It's like another thing too that like inspires me, because like sometimes I'm in a lot of pain, and you have to like look for reasons to like want to just stay here or be live, and like people like yourself, and when you meet like other that are nice, you're like, wow, man, there's like other like because you watch like the news and stuff sometimes, and you start like, it's cutting out.
you
Oh,
sorry,
it's
you were
cutting
breaking up
out.
a bit there.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I was just saying it's like awesome to meet like nice people, because like you watch the news and all that stuff, especially now with all the negativity going on, and it's like, why even be part of this world? You feel like when you're sick. But then you meet like people like yourself and the people on here, and then you're like, man, I definitely want to be a part of this world. Like it's awesome. Yeah, there's so many more good people out there, you just don't hear about them, unfortunately.
Right, and mycology community takes care of its own, right? And so
Yeah, I can tell.
I can only imagine the outreach and the help. My goal is to get you more help than you know what to do with. That you're overwhelmed with people reaching out to you, trying to get you into the position you need to be in to make this happen for yourself and your friends, and just really blossom into where you're supposed to be.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Like, there's not any words, but yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you don't have to thank me, man. Thank yourself. You know, you've done a great job so far, and we want to keep you doing that. So, yeah, I had a couple other things to talk to you about. And so, um, yeah, I'm sorry, a
Yeah,
bit
man.
emotional. So,
Yeah, yeah,
so I'm in huge support of a company based out of Victoria called Therasil, and they're on a mission to reach out to our health minister and get the okay for them to
yeah,
practice therapy with psilocybin, and they're a group of medical health professionals that are huge advocates for
yeah,
this, and and so I'm in undying support of their message. I believe that they will be the first ones to cross that barrier and to just open it up, right? And their research and their findings will expose the benefits for people, and not necessarily just for people who are dealing with end of life crisis, but the therapeutic value, the life progression and all those things involved in it, and the things that anybody who's experienced this will absolutely testify to its effectiveness. And so with all that being said, um, I support them because they are going to break the barrier, and then they're going to open the floodgates for the research, and then it will become, undeniable about the benefits, because then it's science
yeah,
backed, then the research is there, then you can reference something saying, because, with our government, the system, they all need paperwork, how it's going to work, and proof, right? And unfairly and unjustly have legalized a fungus, right? And so once that happens, I believe that we're going to be on the fast track to getting things to where they should be, and that's the medicine back in the hands of the people. And I can't wait for that day, and to just to be emancipated from the fear of having your
yeah,
door kicked in and
yeah,
rushed because you tried
yeah,
to help yourself
yeah,
with a substance that doesn't hurt anybody. It in fact makes better people. It doesn't, it doesn't ruin families. In fact, it
yeah,
fucking fixes them, and um, it's um, it, the whole thing is asinine, like the legal structure around it. And so you spoke of future intention of being more political with this, and approaching your government, with your story and becoming an advocate, and that. So if you can.
yeah. I would get right up there. Tell them, you know what I mean? I don't know if it'd work in Canada because I'm from the United States. It's like, but I'd be willing to stand buddy and just talk about it and tell them what it's done for me. I would no problem doing that. Um, so if they'd ever want me to,
Sorry, yeah, you were breaking up a bit there, but I caught that. You don't know if it'll transcend from America to Canada to pursue that. There are institutions in America that are on the same mission as Therasil, and I'll do a bit more research and make sure that you're put in contact with them, and so you can make those advancements within America as well.
excellent. If not, I'll just move to Canada.
Yeah, buddy, we'd love to have you. So part of my mission with Psilocybin Tribesmen is to eventually open my own healing center, and employ people who whether it be through whatever legislation is put in place to the restrictions in that, based around qualifications for those individuals to help, and just make it sort of like a retreat center on a bit of property, and teach people how to grow them themselves, how to reconnect, and just be in a warm, loving environment. And so on the day that we break ground, I would love to have you be there and sharing that experience with us as well. So and, hopefully with the universe and whatever deities working for us, we'll make that happen. So
that's good. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of when.
so yeah. So and yeah. So what do things look like for you going forward with treatment? And I just recalled you sent me a document where you had lowered your cancer number something like 100 points through medicinal mushrooms.
Yeah. So the doctors, it freaked them out. They didn't believe it. But I was taking turkey tail, lion's mane, and a couple other ones, and I actually lowered my tumor markers. There's a tumor marker for my cancer. There's a PS 119, and I lowered it by 100 points over, I forget how many months I did it. But what ended up happening was I was doing really well, and I ended up getting well, the tumors in my stomach was leaking out of it, and the doc might get infected, And when he gave me that antibiotic, I was like, I had like an allergic to it, and then it was like the cancer just went into overdrive and started going. It was crazy. But yeah, that's kind of like the path I was on with the mushrooms, and that's why I went back onto like my path of what I was doing before. And I kind of am right now, and I can feel things like slowing down. I feel like I'm getting better. And last got a text message. So the
Oh.
tomorrow, and go to North Carolina probably in like 4 weeks, and then they're going to do a surgery on me and do the treatment. I'm not looking for. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. And at the same time, I'm scared because it's like it's the most painful experiences of my life, and I've had a lot of painful experiences because it's I mean, it's basically like those substances together turn into an acid, and the cancer's on my lung, so it's like someone's dipped lung in acid. When I was in Australia, I could barely take it, man. Like, it was so bad. But I'm going to go through that, and then they say I should feel like so much. They've done so many surgeries on my stomach. There's like
I think we lost you.
breaking up. There's not much left that they can sew back together on me. Oh. Is it working?
I can hear you. I can't see you though. Oh.
And so I'm worried about that. You know what I mean? But I'll worry about that when I'm just like taking in all the positive. But then after that, I'm going to come back here, and they say I should feel like a brand new person again. And I want to get cracking on this, the Mycology thing. Helping, so helping all. I like already am. I already have like my grandma and my mom. So I know it all works, and I'm just excited to learn more about it and help more people with it.
Awesome. Yeah. No, you were breaking up quite a bit there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a miracle we can talk to each other. But I'm, after I share this interview, I'm going to share, your documentary as the next post. I'm going to include, the screenshot of your markers being reduced by 100 points, and just give you a bit of a written expose for people to read and get a bit more insight to you as well. So, it's been a tough journey for you, and you're not quite in the clear yet. And even when you get to the clear, I'm sure you'll have your own sort of mental hesitations about, feeling comfortable because you've gone through this so many times, right?
Yeah.
The worrying concern about it coming back, and there are solutions out there, and some of which you've been exposed to, and some that you may not have. And so I want to continue dialogue and help you, try and come to terms with all of that. So, and yeah, so I mean, man, I applaud you on every sense of it, and what you've been through, and you're one hell of a human, man, and your spirit and your kindness just resonates and oozes out of you with every sort of interaction we have. I know your intentions are pure, and who you are as a being is a miracle. So I thank you, thank you for being here. So with all of that being said, let's hit the ground running with how we can get you back into a position to get where you're supposed to be. So let's after this is over, I'll hit you up, and we'll talk a bit more about our options to get things rolling. But if whoever's watching this and joined us with the live, or watching it later on our profile, please help us get Matt's story out there. He's a great person and deserves to be in a position to help himself and others because of all the things he's done, and because of the attitude he's had. He's an amazing human being, and a hero to me, and if not to most of you. So please, share this video, like it, comment, get it into the hands of whoever is in a position to help Matt, whether it's, mentorship towards Mycology, whatever products you can donate to help get him started, equipment he should be purchasing first, how to reformat his space to make it productive, how to, anything you can give Matt and throw his way to being on the right path, and make it just a little bit easier for him, because he's, the guy's been through a lot, and undoubtedly you've earned it, brother, and you have my undying support. So is there anything that I missed, touching on, or that you want to bring up?
No, I think we really covered it all. I just want to say thank you so much, and everybody that's on here. Like I said, I already see all these kind messages, and I'm really stoked. And I already guys just made my day, or my whole month. Yeah, that's all.
Now, one thing.
Oh, yeah, and anybody, if you want to friend me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, please do.
Sure, yeah, it's at Matt Burnsworth. Correct.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep, and then yeah, I mean, I will give all the information more in depth in the next post, fairly shortly here, and hopefully your inbox is overwhelmed by people reaching out to help you, real quick. So. Brother, thank you for joining me here today. I appreciate you overcoming everything, and I'm excited for our new friendship and what it's going to blossom into. So I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, brother.
Yeah, man. God bless, man. Have a great day. Thank you, Tom.
Likewise. Yeah, we'll talk right after this. Thanks, man. All right, and thank you for joining us, everybody, and sharing in Matt's story. It's, it was an honor and a pleasure for me to be here and talk with him. And you've heard just a brief insight into what the man's gone through, and he's an honest guy, and he's been he's done everything right in his life, and he's been handed a shitty hand, and despite of that, he's maintained a positive attitude and a lust for life. And unfortunately, circumstances beaten him into places that nobody deserves to go. And so, if you could find it within yourself to donate $1, $5, $10, whatever the community can reach in and help him get there, it would mean the world to me and Matt as well. So let's show him what the mushroom community can do. So thank you.